Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm filming in my messy home office, so I apologize for the boxes and mess in the background. Anyway, today I am bringing you the top 5 misconceptions of buying and selling a home, so keep watching. The first one is the actual reason why I wanted to make this video. It is regarding the deed recording. So we get through the entire transaction, we get to the closing table, you sign all the paperwork, and then you leave the closing table, and one of two things happens. Your realtor is either going to give you the keys and then tell you to not enter the home until the deed records with the county, or the realtor is going to keep the keys and then meet up with you and give them to you once it is official that the deed has recorded. Agents do it either way. Technically, you're not supposed to give the keys until the deed has recorded, but I know realtors that definitely give them and just trust their clients that they're not going to. But I've had a lot of buyer clients recently who I tell them multiple times throughout the transaction in emails, calls, text messages, in person, everything. And they, for some reason, get confused. So you cannot access your new home even after you've left the closing table until the deed has recorded. So all that paperwork, all the work that has been done up until that point, yes, you've signed all the paperwork. Yes, the seller has signed all the paperwork, and it's like unofficially official, but you legally will be considered trespassing if you access that property before the deed records with the county. Now, when does it record? It typically takes a couple of hours after you leave the closing table for it to be official. So it's not a long process, but I've had situations in the past where, we have a closing on a Friday at 1 o'clock and then something happens at the attorney's office and the deed doesn't get recorded until Monday morning. And so the buyers have to wait an entire weekend, and those buyers were out of state. And so it was a little hectic, but anyway, so that is number 1, the deed recording. The second misconception is regarding the Zestimate or the Zillow estimate. I have a lot of clients who come to me and say, hey, Lindsay, I want you to list my home. Zillow says it's worth $400,000. Okay, well, let me run my comps and let's see what's sold in the neighborhood recently. Also, let's go to your home. Let me come to your home and visit to take a look around to see what you've done in the last 5 or 10 years. Has Zillow or someone from Zillow been in your home in the last 5 or 10 years since you bought it and seen all the upgrades that you've done to it? No, they have not. All they have to go off of is the previous pictures that are on MLS or on Zillow.com. And those are not always accurate. So Zestimates can be very misleading and they can be kind of tricky to navigate. So you always want to go with a trusted real estate professional who has the expertise in the local market. Misconception number 3 relates back to number 2, and that is overpricing your home. When you have a real estate agent who is advising you of where to price your home, they're doing that for a reason. So let's say you want to price your home. Let's say the Zestimate says your house is worth $400,000, but your realtor comes to you and after running their comps and doing an official CMA, they say that you probably are going to get between, let's say, $380,000 and $390,000 for the home, but we want to list it at $375,000 to be competitive. Now, this is all subject to a specific local market and how the market is doing, but in the market we're in right now, very much a seller-driven market, you definitely don't want to overprice because that's just going to leave a bad taste in agents' mouth. And it's also going to leave a bad taste in the buyer's mouths when they come to view your home, if you can even get them to view your home. So you definitely want to take the advice of your trusted real estate professional. And if you're looking for a realtor and don't know how to choose one, like if you have used one in the past, but you weren't that impressed and you want to make a change, or if you're a first-time buyer and you just don't know where to look, I have a video that's related to that topic that I'll link below in the description, and it's the top 4 tips on how to pick a realtor. So I will link that there. Misconception number 4 is regarding staging. Staging is very important, but it doesn't always need to happen. So if you're working at a certain price point, I mean, maybe 500 and up, something like that, depending on your local market, you're probably going to want staging. If the home is vacant, again, you're definitely going to want staging. If you're still living in the home and we're talking about maybe a lower price point, like, 3 to 4 or even under, you probably don't need to stage. This is always subject to each person's scenario. And that's why you want a trusted real estate professional to guide you, on what decision to make, but you may not need staging. In that video that I just mentioned before about how to pick a real estate agent, one of the topics that I discuss in that video is about staging and whether or not you need it, because you don't always need it. Sometimes you just need to declutter a little bit and clean and, maybe do a couple little repairs and then you're all set. So staging, you may need it, you may not. That's why you need a trusted real estate professional to help guide you on that decision. The last and final misconception, number 5, is regarding buyers' expectations for how many houses we're going to see and how many offers we're going to put in. A lot of people think, we'll see a couple houses, we'll put an offer in, we'll get accepted, and then we'll be under contract, and then 4 weeks later, we'll be in our new house. Sometimes it does happen that way, and I've had situations with buyer clients of mine that have happened that way. However, on average, I usually see anywhere between 6 to 10 homes with a buyer before we even put in an offer. And sometimes it's because they don't even know exactly what location. And that's just because I sell mainly in the Triangle, Raleigh-Durham area. And it is such a big area. So you kind of have to narrow things down a little bit, and that can take some time. Also, I have had a couple scenarios where we have gone under contract on the first offer that we put in. Though that's unicorn. That's great. We love that. But it doesn't always happen. And on average, it doesn't happen. On average, I am seeing about 3 offers being put in before we go under contract. So that's just something to think about when you're considering buying a home and going through with this process. Again, it always relates back to having a realtor that you can trust, somebody that you can relate to, somebody that knows the market, knows the area. All right, y'all, that's it. That's the top 5 misconceptions of buying and selling a home. I hope this was informative for you. Please leave me a comment below if you have any questions. I'll put my information here on the screen. Would love to chat with you. I will see you guys in the next video.